Hi guys, and welcome to episode 2 of the series, where today we are going to be departing where we landed last time and heading over to a small runway this time, just under 4,000 feet according to my calculations, which I'm not even sure is entirely legal for this aircraft, but we're going to give it a go. So this will be a nice interesting approach when we get to it. Again, I don't believe there's any stars or any of that kind of stuff, but yeah, straight as we left off from last time, and we're going to bring the exact same amount of fuel. We're not going to refuel here because, well, I don't think you could refuel here. I might be wrong, but nonetheless, I have put the wheel chocks on just to help the brakes cool down because it is hot here, 26 degrees. It estimates we're going to use about 1.5 tons of fuel to get to where we need to go, so it is it'll be close, but there's another airport that's a nice easy dive there if we have to. Anyway, what we'll do is I will do the pre-flight, and I'll probably join you once I've done the pre-flight. So I'll bring you back here so you can see the airport. So we're going to Sierra Victor India Echo, and we'll be going under FedEx to Alpha Hotel. So all the pre-filing's done. I never even took the parking brake off. The chocks were pointless. Oh well, anyway, we're going to remove the chocks. Just got climb page there. So all the pre-filing's done, or pre-flight rather. So now we can just get ready to start the engines. So bringing all the fuel pumps on, anti-collisions on, put the prop peaks on, turn the packs off, and we will start engine number 2. 25%, in goes the fuel. There's starter cutout, the lights off, and we can start number 1. In goes the fuel. Starter switch is cut out, lights off. So we've got 2 good starts on the engines. We'll flick the generators back on, like so. APU can come off. We'll put the starter switches to continuous. We'll just fire all the lights on because we're going straight onto runway here. Packs on auto. Can have packs on for this departure since we've got a nice long runway. And yeah, we shouldn't have to wait for temperatures or anything because obviously it's already really warm here, and the engines are just on not long ago. So flaps 5. We'll start the block time, and I'll hopefully remember to set the clock on my side. Flap 5 set, and we can head just over to the runway. And yes, it's as simple as that. Here's the runway. So there's the strobe light on. Just double check because we're very quick. Flaps are 5, strobe lights on, continuous, packs on, auto brake is RTO. We are good to go. So 40%. There we go. I've got the clock this time. I'll probably forget to switch off, but that's fine. Auto throttle armed. Here we go. That's checked. Rotating. Nice and quick off the ground. There we go.
Positive rate of climb.
Gears coming up. Not the most interesting island in the world to look at. Once we get to 500 feet here, we'll start that turn. Got heading selected just to get us onto the LNAV path. And you can see how quickly we're accelerating despite the attitude. Bringing the turn over. Start bringing the nose down. so. So I'll go Command A, and we'll go for LNAV, which should hopefully bring us over. Flaps coming up. It's just how quickly you accelerate. Fairly blustery around here, which is probably what should be expected. It's the slats just coming in. So already up at 4,500 feet, and you can start clearing up now. So gear can come off, lights off, why not? Start switches can come off, and we are all cleared up and on the way up to a cruise altitude, this time of 220. And as always in this series, as you will see, I will join you when it's something a little bit more interesting. Bye bye. So just coming up to the top of the set now, I can't remember from the last episode I showed you me putting the fixes in for the arrival, so just in case I didn't, I am going to show you now. So I'm just going to put the range just so I can see the airport. So we're landing on runway 09. I've got the option of 27 and 09. So what I'll do is I'll take the runway, go to fix, enter it, and what I'll do is basically take the other runway, which is 27, and just take 270. I know that might be a few degrees off. I don't have the exact runway heading, I don't think. No. So we'll just take 270 degrees. Basically so we can get an extended centre line is effectively why we do this. And then our range ring at 5. And I quite liked having the range at 12 miles as well. And basically what this does is it's bringing out this, what is effectively an extended centre line from the runway. It's not exact as you've seen in the last episode, but it's close enough that we can use it to our advantage. So I'll basically extend that out, and as we get close I'll put us in a heading to the 12-mile ring, and that should set us up roughly okay for the final approach. VNAV will have us so that we're descending quicker and earlier than we need to, but it's fine. It all works itself out, or at least it did in the last episode. So yeah, just about to start heading down now, and let's see what happens on this approach. So I have a METAR for our approach into this airport, which again I am not going to even try to butcher. Fairly blustery. We've got winds at 100 degrees at 18 knots, so fairly head on the nose, but yeah, fairly windy. Few clouds, and QNH is 1014. They're actually using hectopascals on this METAR, which we're already on, which is fine. I haven't really been bothered setting standard pressure. Don't see the point, and if you're looking for total realism, this is not the series for you, which I'm sure most of you all know anyway. I have slightly edited the fix to get a more accurate extended centre line, so I'm just going to go into heading select now, which will bring us in at the 12-mile mark. And yeah, just to make it nice and smooth. And again, I'm just going to start editing that rate of descent. In fact, no, I'm going to leave it on VNAV just because we're hitting, or am I? Yeah. I'm going to do this myself on vertical speed. Let's see how this goes. 10,000 feet. Lights on. So just as we come in here, I feel like it'll be in our best interest to probably slow down a bit early. This is only a 4,000 foot runway, not even. So we are going to use flaps 40 to get in as slow as we can. However, with that wind, I think that it's going to be somewhat challenging. I don't know if you're only meant to use auto brake max in an emergency. I don't think that's the case, but we're putting auto brake max on anyway, because we're going to need all the help we can get. And yeah, I'm just going to bring the speed brakes out to flight detent. I feel like it would be in our best interest to get set up for this arrival in good time, let's say. Just to bring the speed down to 210. Or even if I'll bring the speed brakes in once we get to about 230 or so. So as we come down closer onto the approach, we'll just get the rest of the aircraft set up. I'm just going to put in 180 knots so that the throttles don't, for some reason at any point, come in. So that starter switch is 2 continuous, and we'll also put the runway turn offs, taxi light on, we'll fire it all on, why not. Just coming up to shy of 10 miles until we turn. 25 minutes in the air, 26 minute block time, thanks to that easy taxi. Again, this is default scenery, no scenery for this airport. However, the next 2 episodes, obviously not when we depart here again, but the next 2 episodes should have scenery when we arrive at the next one, and then once we depart there and arrive at the one after that, it's also got scenery. I'm not sure how good they are, but we'll have a look at them. And from the kind of looking into it that I've done, I've spawned in at some of the airports in the sim when I've planned out the route that I wanted to take. There is some interesting airports. I feel like they get more interesting the further round the Caribbean we go. I'm going to bring this down to 2,000. Bit of turbulence there. Don't know if that's because we're going over land. Start a slight turn. Again, we're really struggling for speed here. See if we can see the runway. Not quite. I can't say this is one of the airports that I spawned in at, so I have no idea what to expect. All I know is it's a short runway. 12 miles or so flaps 1. Maybe just overshot it ever so slightly on the approach. Interesting that it's runway 09 but the heading is 102 at the moment, and supposedly we're on track for it. Still no runway in sight, but we'll keep on going. Flaps coming out to 5. Bring the speed brake in and we'll arm it. Don't know if that's the runway there. I think it might be. Yeah, let's just ever so slightly move the heading this way. I think that is the runway. Yeah, that's the runway there. No one said this would be easy. And with that, it's time for flaps 15 gear down. I'm going to go for about 135, I think. Flaps 25. Autopilot's coming out, take it from here. So as I say, 4,000 foot runway, this will certainly be interesting. Flaps 40. Set up nice and far out. I think we're a bit low, but it's fine with this flap setting. We should probably be able to hold off the descent. Try and keep it above 130, just because the wind is so blustery. Yeah, let's really stop this descent because we are quite a bit too low. Speed brakes are armed, flaps are 40, auto brakes max, the lights are on, and the engine start switches are at continuous. Let's try and get on path here. Obviously with flat 40 you do need quite a bit of throttle just to keep your speed, that's fine. Still got 1.8 tonnes in total. This approach feels more stable than the last episode, which is interesting. Hopefully bodes well for a nice, good landing. Obviously we don't want to be focusing too much on the smoothness of the landing, just due to the runway's length. No pappies, but we'll just attempt to use my experience in Flight Sim to get us down.
300.
Yeah, the wind definitely doesn't feel quite as blustery all over the place as it did when we landed into the last airport.
200. 100.
Looks like the runway's sloping up quite a lot.
50. 40. 30. 20.
Idle the throttle.
10.
Yeah, nice slope on the runway. Hammer down, maximum reverse. No issues at all. Wow, look at that, look how quickly we stopped there. We're actually going to be able to exit the runway without even backtracking. How good is that? And on to stand. So the APU can come on. Lights are coming off. What I'll try and do is spin the aircraft round without going on the grass preferably, although that might not be possible. I might just have managed that. We'll just pretend we can get fuel here because obviously it won't be enough to get us to where we need to go next. Stop the plane here. Put the parking brake on. Just wait for the APU to come alive. There it is. Generator's on. Fuel cut off. Switches. These fuel pumps can come off. Hydraulic pumps there. Probe heat. And we're going to be leaving the aircraft here overnight, which means we're going to obviously do a panel save. So we're just going to do the aircraft as if we are switching it all off to leave overnight. This is just a guess on my part. I'm not sure if it was common practice to leave the flaps down in warm countries. I've got a feeling they do, and I can't remember if there's a reason why. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave the flaps in the flaps 40 position while we leave the aircraft overnight. But yeah, welcome down to the airport. That landing was, the runway slope I think maybe helped us, and obviously we're really light. So my calculations in the runway that we could have landed on, because this is one of the smaller ones that we'll get to. I think there's one that's smaller than this. Got a few that are around the 4,000 foot mark. But yeah, so just for the sake of continuity, I will quickly shut the aircraft down as if we're going to leave it, just so you can see the exact panel state that we will have it set up in next time. So I'm just going to go to the PMDG setup aircraft, no it's not, it's FS Actions rather, and set the chocks just to help the brakes cool down, and we'll actually take the parking brake off this time, especially for max auto brake. Start switches and all that can come off, lights all off, packs can come off. We'll put the APU bleed on just for when we come back out to the plane. Yaw damper can come off. IRSs can be unaligned, if that's even what it's called. Emergency lights can come off. And I believe we can take the APU off and take the fuel pump off as well. Standby power's off. And finally, the battery off. And as the APU spills down, that is the aircraft ready to be parked up to be left overnight. Where we'll come to the next leg, episode 3. And yeah, I hope you will join me for that episode if you've got this far. If you're enjoying it, please give the series a like, give it a subscribe to not miss the next episode. And yeah, thanks very much for watching guys, and I'll hope to see you in the next episode. Goodbye.